action.
Guys, whatever's in there, it's big and it's moving fast. Drive. Go,
Firstly, congratulations on the movie. Is there anything better than a disaster film to take our minds off the disaster that is real life?
We started off so positive, and then we just,
Wow.
you just.
The disaster.
Honestly,
that is
that is
real
a
life.
disaster that is your life.
Oh man.
Well,
I guess, bro. I mean, look, if it's doing it for you, bro, like, yes, amen.
I'm just trying to put myself in the seats of the audience who flock to these movies, right? And now let's talk about the 1996 original. Like, I would love to know your takeaways from that film, starting with you, Daisy, who wasn't born when it came out.
yeah, I know. Yeah, it came out 2 years before I was born, and I watched it when I knew Isaac was making this film, because I'd been desperate to work with Isaac, and I was so curious to see like what his interest was. And I mean, I had the most joyful time. Like you said, it was a great disaster movie to distract me from the disaster of real life. And it's kind of like wonderful just to see like a group of people have such a passion and a shared joy of something. And honestly, just like all of the amazing actors that are in the film and the ensemble as well. And, you know, I think there's so many iconic moments that, yeah, I was so thrilled to think that I could be involved in this one.
All right, what about you, Anthony?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think that it's awesome when you can, you know, be a part of something that is so embedded in the lives of so many people. Like when I told my aunt I was doing this movie, she's like, that is my favorite movie of all time. Like I just, you know, just like the random collection of people in my life that have told me that this is their favorite, the 1996 movie is their favorite film, you know, and they're like so excited to see this movie, and they're so excited to see what we have done with this film and you know, franchise, you know. So yeah, man, I feel grateful, and our director is incredible. This cast is amazing. So this, you know, honestly, that's a dream.
And for you, Glenn, did you grow up in Texas? Did you have any experience with tornadoes? Did the movie mean anything to you differently?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's been the most exciting part of, you know, at least my perspective on it all, is like growing up in Texas. Like Twisters is an iconic movie that kind of, you know, felt like it embodied like such a big part of growing up in Tornado Alley and you know, around people that actually experienced this thing. But I think the more I've traveled, I realize this is sort of a movie for the world, you know, how much the original really means to so many people, and really how it's just a universal experience, how it really is about, you know, who we are in the face of danger and how we pick up after each other in the wake of disaster. And I think that's the thing I'm really proud of in this movie. It's not just for Oklahoma or Texas. It's really, this is a movie that I think everybody around the world's going to enjoy.
Yeah, well, I think, you know, every country can relate to extreme weather events. And the tornado sequences in the film are bonkers. So I would like each of you to tell me, like, what one of those was like for you as an actor. Let's start with you, Glenn.
Well, I think like one thing that's very impressive that I think Lee Isaac Chung, our filmmaker, you know, did on this movie is really making all these tornadoes, like, they're so different, and every tornado is its own chemical equation, its own sort of monster in an interesting way. And I feel like none of them feel uniform. None of them feel, they're all singular and they're all different. They, you know, each sort of embody their own threat. And that's just representative of real world. Like the more we explore it, it's like, you don't know what you're up against until you're in front of it.
Yeah. And what about from your perspective, Daisy? Which scene sticks in your mind?
For me, I think the first tornado sequence it's such a impactful, formative experience for Kate as a character. It's also like, it's the opening to the film, and it's like, it's quite a shock. You know, I don't want any spoilers, but a lot happens. And yeah, I remember filming that was so wild. I mean, you know, it really takes a turn, and it's sort of the first kind of F5 that Kate experiences, which is, you know, the highest on the Fujita scale even. But it really, yeah, for me that was, you know, it was also the first sequence I filmed. It took a long time to do all the pieces, but it was the first time I experienced all the wind machines and the rain machines, and I was like, oh, this next 3 months is going to be very soggy and very uncomfortable, but also such a blast. So yeah, I would say that one.
And what about for you, Anthony? What was the scene that you just, you're just like, wow, okay, the scale of this film is something else?
Yeah, I mean, there were a few. I mean, like the visual effects team, they were on another level. You know, the fans were so strong with the wind. I mean, there were some days I'm like pulling the car door open and it's taking my arm, and then it's like hard to close the door. Like they were really like pelting us. And, yeah, I mean, it was, you know, and then like Daisy and I have this one scene where we're backing up, the tornado's literally coming at us and we're backing up, and I'm like looking back and I'm looking at it and looking back, and we back up into this ditch, and you know we have to like cover ourselves, and they're throwing debris on the car, and those two scenes stick. I mean, and all of them really. And then we get dragged in the middle of the street by I don't even know how many gallons of water. So I mean, it just so many moments stick out to me, you know. But the special effects team was amazing.
Yeah.
It's Tyler Owens. Calls himself the Tornado Wrangler. If you feel it, chase it! I said if you feel it, chase it! All right, here we go.
And Glenn, I think your character Tyler is a great kind of way to modernize the story from the 1996 original. The idea that these storm chasers are chasing storms for views on YouTube, which is an incredibly stupid thing to do. Did you do much research into this world?
Well, there's a lot of people to study in this world because I mean, storm chasing has obviously become an event that's become way more mainstream, you know, with all these different types of technology. So I was a lot to study, but I really feel like Tyler's entry point to the story is really just to remind Kate, why storm chasing is fun. So, the more fun Tyler and the Wranglers were having, the better it was to remind her why this thing is important and something to worthy of chasing. And I think just also, having real storm chasers as our background artists on the movie was so helpful because it allows you to not settle into an idea of something, but to really make sure everything you're saying and doing and trying to embody on camera is accurate. So to film this thing in Oklahoma around the real deals, I think makes this movie sing with a different sort of authenticity.
Yeah, definitely. And the first movie in 1996 caused a whole bunch of people to go and study meteorology, who are now, they're probably sitting at computer screens looking at boring synoptic charts thinking, like, what happened to all the flying cows? I'm not seeing much of that in my day-to-day. What do you hope that audiences take away from this movie?
I mean, I think that's like, actually being in Oklahoma filming there, it's amazing to see how much a film can impact a place and impact a community. We went to the
National
Weather Center and met a bunch of meteorologists. We had a lot of real storm chasers, be on our sets and consult. And the cafe at the National Weather Center is called the Flying Cow Cafe. It's so incredible what films can do. And so yeah, I mean, I hope again it's an exciting thing to come back into this world of chasing, to meet these people, to learn about this phenomenon in this part of the world. And I hope people just have an absolute ride watching it and really enjoy themselves, because it's so much fun to watch a group of people be passionate about something.
Yeah, I'm sure they will, and also have empathy for the victims of these really extreme weather events as well. I think that comes across in the film too. Guys, we've run out of time. It's been awesome to talk to you. Enjoy promoting the film.
Thank you.
And cut.